चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम् वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणा रघुनाथामृतं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपदान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखावितांश्च नमः विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिधि नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे नमो महावदन्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण नामने गौरकिशोर हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमस्ते दत्त कांत गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी कृष्ण कृपा सिंधुभ्यः च पतितनां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे कृष्ण. So from today we are starting this success sutras from Bhagavad Gita on Sundays instead of Saturday. There's another group of devotees who are also joined, who are also connected, who have joined this program. And I'm sitting not in my office as usual, but sitting in some devotee's house, and very beautiful darshan. You want to see Lord Jagannath, very beautiful. You can see very beautiful altar, so many deities. So I'm at one devotee's place, our Ritesh Prabhu, very wonderful devotee, both husband and wife taking care of the deities, and Jagannath is blessing them always. So that is actually, very much related with our topic. Am I a control freak? So you see, even though the house is registered in his name, in the name of Ritesh Acharekar Prabhu, but he is not the controller of the house. Who's the controller of the house? Jagannath, Lord Jagannath. To the degree, to the extent, the person in whose name this house is registered, to the degree, to the extent he thinks that he is the controller, he will have a problem. He should only think he is the controller when he has to pay water tax, property tax. Rather, that also should be done in the mood of a servant. So, Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Aham sarvasya prabhavo matta sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante ma buddha bhava samanvita. Aham sarvasya prabhavo. Everything you see in the existence, everything in the creation is emanating from Lord Krishna. Matta parataram na anyat. Matta parataram na anyat. There is no truth superior to me. There is nothing superior to Krishna. Mame vamshu jiva loke jiva bhuta sanadana. We are eternally part and parcel, parts and parcel of Krishna. Eternally we are his parts. We can never come at par with him. We can never be equal. A drop of ocean can never be equal to the ocean. Though qualitatively they both are same. One drop of blood from your body will tell you about so many things. When you go to a laboratory for a blood test, they don't take 5 liters of your blood. They only take 5 ml. So 5 ml of the blood will tell. Why? Because quality is same. Because quality is same. Similarly, a living entity, a soul, is qualitatively one with Krishna, but quantitatively we are different. He is unlimited, infinite, and we are limited, infinitesimal. So, if we know this situation, I told you few verses from Bhagavad Gita. In all the scriptures, you understand who's the country. Okay. Before that, now we gave a glimpse of who's the controller. In this world, what happens? We are controlled by three modes of material nature. We are not even directly controlled by Krishna. We are controlled by three modes of material nature. We are controlled by our own anarthas. And one is false ego. Ego here means identity. What is my identity? That's ego. So why we are calling false ego? Because the true identity of the soul of living entity is that I am eternally dependent on Krishna. Eternally dependent on Krishna. I'm not independent. But because we think we are independent, we try to act independently, we face so many problems. We have problems. And in this world, practically everyone, some in a higher degree, some maybe in a lesser degree, everyone feels that he is the country. Even a tiny ant crawling somewhere in the corner of your house, that ant also feels that I am the controller. In another moment, ant can be killed. Maybe either you will just put some water and dead, or someone will just walk on ant, step over that, finish. But every living entity has this concept that I'm the control. There's so many problems. So if you go to a Vedic, Ayurvedic doctor, they will tell you that there is stress. Just by touching your nerves, they can tell you there is stress in the body. There will be stiffness in the neck area, and in the knees, there will be pain, and other body parts, there'll be stiffness. Why? So I was talking to one Chinese doctor. The Chinese, they also have something like Ayurveda, which they call Chinese herbal medicine. Very similar. It has gone from here only. All the knowledge in the world has, you know, uh, reached to their places, gone from India. So he was telling that because people try to control, very interesting, because we try to control, there is stress in our body. Why? You try to control, but you're not able to control. There's a difference. You try to control, but you're not able to control. Like I just came to Prabhuji's house, I was in the traffic. What can I control? There's traffic, it's raining. Today in Mumbai, there's Ganpati Visarjan. So a lot of traffic. Can I control? Even if I'm driving, I was sitting behind, what can driver do? If we analyze our lives, if we analyze the situation we are in all the time, take any average day of your life, we are so helpless. We're so helpless. And this situation, which is almost more than 1.5 years, the world is in the grip of coronavirus. What can we do? We are just hiding in the bills. We are hiding in the corners of our house. Yeah? Like rats and so many small animals, they just hide when a big elephant comes. Similarly, a small coronavirus has come, and every one of us are kind of hiding. Even if you say, no, I'm not hiding, I want to go out, but you're not able to go out because of the government norms. You are confined in an area, cannot go out. And if there are slight symptoms of high temperature, of cold cough, then you're quarantined for 14 days. Entire world, can you imagine? Entire world, everyone in the world was affected. Everyone's lifestyle is affected. Can you imagine such a situation 2 years ago? Today is what? 19th of September 2021, 19th of September 2019. Did you ever think the world will come to that level that we'll become helpless? Entire human population is helpless. So we are all helpless. This is at a macro level. Then at a smaller level, you know, in your society, there's so many restraints in your own house. You want to do something, but you're not able to do. In your office, you want to do something, but not able to do. Either your colleagues or your juniors or your seniors, someone is there who makes sure that whatever you want doesn't happen. They are not to be blamed. They're playing their role, what role they have been given in your life. It's like there's a movie director, and he has, the casting director also. He has given a role to everyone, and hero is just running. He's going to heroine, and the villain comes. So villain has been given the role to disturb the meeting of this beautiful couple. So then you become helpless. So every one of us are given certain role to play. Anything happening in my life, anything by any human being or any living entity is because they are told to play that role. Because of my past karmas, my previous life action, I have certain previous life actions, and due to which I'm destined to get some good things in my life, some not so good things in my life, and some worst to happen in my life. Who will give that result? Krishna will not come personally to give results. That's not his job, but he has to make sure that everything goes smooth. So Krishna will pick someone, either from your family, or from your office, from the society, or at a bigger level, the government, to play their role, and you think that they are troubling you. We are so helpless. And the more you try to control the situation, the more you try to manipulate the situation according to your needs, the more difficulty will come in your life. Let me give you some example. You're driving and you see you have to reach at some place urgently, but you see there's a signal. You can see there's a red light, but you still decide to jump over the signal. When you try to jump over the signal, your car clashes with other car. So there will be arguments. The police will come. Now that was your mistake. You did a mistake. You jump over the signal. Police will come, traffic police will tell you to pay a fine. And instead of paying fine, you slap that police inspector or the traffic police. What he will do? He will take you to police station. You did a mistake of jumping over the signal. There's a clash. You hit other car. You had to pay the fine. Instead, you slapped the traffic police. He took you to police station. There also you should have said, okay, sorry, I was in anxiety and I did that. I'm really sorry. I'm ready to pay whatever it takes. It can really settle the issues. But what happens? You shout at the policeman. And then when he's trying to uh, tell you how you are wrong, you slap him also. And you try to run away from the police station. And all the policemen there, they will grab you. They'll put you behind the bars. And then you have to call your advocate. So see how situation is becoming worst. Hmm? The situation is worsening. Why? Because something we did wrong, we should ideally pay for it. We should accept the punishment. But you try to rebel. You try to retaliate. So similarly in our life, because we have some past karma, some good, some bad. So good karma is giving you good results. How many times in a day you achieve something which is good for you? That time we should remember that some good deeds I have done, and Lord is so merciful, He's giving me the results. And many a times it happens that your past karma, which were not so good, gives you the result, the undesired result, the result which you don't want. So that also you should accept as the grace of Lord. It is your own past which is coming back. So you should accept it. But what happens in this? Because of this tendency of becoming controller. I am the controller. How can things go against me? I will fight with it. And you try to retaliate the situation. There are reversal in life with everyone. There is nobody in the world who has not seen reversals in their life. Everyone has to face. So when there are reversals, you should not retaliate. You should, with a graceful heart, with gratitude to the Lord, that okay, I have done wrong, and you are, don't feel that you are getting punished. It's a correction. You have taken a loan, you have to pay. So it's kind of a bad debt. Taken a loan, now you have to pay. So instead of accepting gracefully and with a lot of gratitude in our heart, what we do, we retaliate. And when we retaliate, what happens? The situation becomes, you know, it worsens. It was bad, now it's worst. And then further it degrades the more you retaliate. Maybe in this life or in next life. Many times you would have seen there are people, who take up the weapons, saying that something wrong has happened in my life and I will destroy my enemies. No, they are not your enemies. How can anyone be your enemy? It's only what you have done, it's coming. If you have done all good with people, even if someone wants to harm you, they cannot do. This was a culture. In Vedic culture, people were uh, so strongly convinced with this fact, because this is the fact. It's not some hallucination, some motivational talk I'm giving. Yudhishthir, he is Dharmaraj. He has always done good. Krishna, in order to teach us, makes some reversals to come in Yudhishthir's life. But if you see really, Yudhishthir was never disturbed. He never lost his peace of life. Even when everything was taken away from him, he was peaceful. He was happy in Krishna consciousness. In reality, Duryodhan could not do any harm to Yudhishthir. With all his army, Duryodhan could not harm these five brothers because they were sinless. Krishna says, "Oh Anagha," he tells to Arjuna that you are Anagha. Agha means sin, Anagha means sinless. Because you're sinless, nobody can touch you. Then why things happen in their life? That was Krishna to teach us. He performed all this drama. Sometimes there are movies, educational movies, they teach you some values. So Krishna is trying to teach us. So now we understand, the more we try to control, the more we will land in trouble. That is why anytime we get caught by authorities, even though you have not done anything wrong, but authorities, sometimes airport authority, railway authority, police authority, sometimes there is doubt on. So you should just cooperate. Just cooperate. Why? Because they are only instruments. It's your own karma which is coming back. What goes around comes around. You don't get into that situation, you don't get into that mindset of a tit for tat. So we saw that how we are not controllers, we are helpless. Today I was talking to one, someone, good friend of mine, met after months, and we were having lunch together. And he had traveled to some other city, and he met some youngsters. And he had an interaction. So he was telling me today, especially the youngsters, they don't want to be confined by anything. They want independence. Yes, everyone is looking for independence. You don't want confinement, but we are confined. This material world is confined. There are youngsters, college students. I don't want to follow any rule. I don't like to follow any instructions given to me. I will do what I want. Okay. Corona has showed everyone in the world what you can. Even the armies, with all their weapons, even nuclear weapon cannot do anything to Corona. What can you do? Can nuclear weapon destroy Corona? All the heads of the countries, the presidents and the prime minister, what they're trying. Initially, everyone said, okay, just hide out, stay in your place. That's confinement. Then compulsory quarantine. You cannot travel anywhere. I don't know if the world has seen such a situation. There is no aeroplane flying, no trains, on the tracks. Everything is so quiet. Rather, there were many videos, many animals from the forest, from their hideouts, they are coming out. Where are all these human beings gone? Whether they've gone to all other planet, have they all gone to moon or Mars, or to heavenly planet? Well, coming out on the road and see nobody is there, and they are having a party. I saw one wonderful video. These monkeys and some other animals, they come and they go to resorts. All the tourist destinations, all the countries who are dependent on tourists, they're destroyed. The GDP is gone for it. Everything in this corona has changed. And these monkeys and other animals, they're having parties. Where? In the swimming pool. And no human being is coming. So they are, all the roads, the busiest of the cities in the world, are like crematoriums. No movement. No movement. Then another, okay, this was temporary confinement. We may come over. We will overcome one day Corona by mercy of Krishna. Obviously, by mercy of Krishna. But there are so many confinements because we are in material world. I can only speak through my mouth. I cannot speak through my eyes. Can I speak? Did you hear? I spoke something with my eyes. Did you hear? I can speak from my ears. Can I? No. Can I speak with my hands? Can you see me with your ears? Can you smell something with your eyes? We are confined. How can we even think that we are controllers? We are so helpless. Sometimes, you eat something and your stomach, goes for a toss. You cannot control your bowel movements. What we will control? We cannot even control our bowel movements. If we are thirsty, we need water. We cannot control our thirst. We cannot control hunger. We cannot control fear. Constantly we are in a fearful situation. Can we control that? We're not able to control. Can we control our thoughts? The mind is raging. We cannot control our thoughts. Can you control other person's thoughts? I cannot control my thoughts. How can I control other person's thoughts? Can you control what other person is thinking about you? Can you control what other person is perceiving about you? Can you change the perception of other person about you? Maybe in a very long run, but we all get affected. Why? Because we think we can. If you are watching this video and you're thinking something about me, how can I control that? It's impossible. You are not able to control your thoughts. How can I control your thoughts? We cannot control our body. We cannot control our mind. We cannot control our situations. Nothing can be done. Now I'm sitting here. I'm using this internet facility. and using the Zoom. What if internet goes off? I can't do anything. Okay, I'll try for another internet. What if doesn't work? Many times we have seen. Sometimes we go to a place, everything is fine. I have traveled to places where I reach there in the afternoon and I see a lot of bandwidth. Upload speed is like 50 Mbps, download speed is like 25 Mbps. But when 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock in the evening, I have to give session, the upload speed is 5 Mbps and the download speed is like half Mbps. What can I do? Later, I realized because in the afternoon or in the early evening, not many people in that area, in that locality are using internet. So bandwidth is there. But in the evening, after 7 o'clock, especially because of lockdown, everyone is at home. They're using internet. So bandwidth is spread out, distributed. What can I do? I had to cancel so many lectures. Okay, cannot help. Then what can we do? Then take your beat back, chant Hare Krishna. That's what we can do. Open your Bhagavad Gita, read Bhagavad Gita. Pray to Lord Jagannath. That's what we can do. So either you accept voluntarily with your own choice that I am dependent on Krishna and let me surrender to his supreme will. Or the world, the Prakriti or the nature will force you to surrender, which will be more painful. So intelligence is not in becoming a big businessman. Intelligence is not in becoming smart. Intelligence is not about becoming a great scientist. Intelligence is not about how you put things. Intelligence is to understand what is truth. That's real intelligence. To understand what is truth, and the truth is I am living entity. I am controlled eternally by Krishna. Krishna is my eternal master and he's the controller of entire creation. And I'm just a small spark. How can a small spark control the fire? Krishna is like that unlimited fire, and we are like small sparks. You've seen sunlight, sometimes you see sunlight coming through your window, and you see some small dots. They're like that. So better is that I understand that what is truth and then do what Krishna says. You know what will happen? Krishna is not telling us, he is not an autocrat. Krishna is not autocrat. Krishna is not authoritarian. Krishna is the most loving personality in the entire creation. Most loving, most compassionate. How can you know that? You might be thinking, how will I know? Everything in your life, Krishna has given. Everything. Have you ever thanked Krishna in the morning that, my dear Lord, I'm alive, I'm healthy. You've given me this body. You have given me intelligence, I'm able to work. You have given me legs, I'm able to walk. You have given me eyes, I'm able to see. You have given me ears, I'm able to hear. Have you ever thanked Krishna? Krishna is giving us everything. We do not deserve, still He is giving. And just for our own reformation, like a school teacher has to punish sometime the student for the benefit of student so that that student will study. Sometimes mother has to trick the child to eat medicine or to eat food because it's good. It's good for the child's health. So similarly, sometimes Krishna, he for reforming, for the reformation, so that we will get reformed and we will eternally join Krishna in his spiritual world and eternally be happy and enjoy that unlimited bliss. Krishna wants us there. So just to bring it or to reform, he has to do something. Mother and father, along with their small child, a 3 years old girl, they go to beach. And mother and father, they're sitting there relaxing, just looking the sunset and the waves of the ocean and the cool breeze, and they're talking. Something about home, something about society, whatever. Everyone talks. And this little girl, 3 years old girl, what she does, she makes some house of the sand. And somehow she's able to make a very beautiful, and she has made a bedroom, parents, master bedroom, and a room for herself, decorated with bright colors and so many toys. And there's a play area, and there's a study area for her. There's a beautiful kitchen for her mother. There's this beautiful garden around the house. Everything she has built. She's so happy. Hmm? She's so happy. But she forgot that this is a temporary situation. I have to go home with my parents. So mother and father, they thought now the sun is almost set. It's going to be dark. We have to go home. We have to cook. And all three of us, we'll eat. And then we, call for a day. So we have to go from here. There'll be traffic. So mother is telling the child, that come, I will go home. And the child is saying, no, 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 mama, I will not go. This is my house. See, I have one room for both of you also. You stay here. We will stay. I will not leave this house and go. And mother is saying, no, it's such a tiny house, a temporary house made up of sand. One wave will come and destroy it. We cannot stay here. We cannot go inside. No, no, mama, this is very beautiful. We will stay here only. We are not going. I love this house. I will not leave this. And father is trying to explain that, dear child, this is not our house. We have to go. The child has become adamant. No, I will not go. The child starts crying. I will not go. But they have to go now. They cannot leave the child. They cannot stay here. They cannot stay on the beach. So they have to go. So sometimes father or mother, what they do, they break the house. Have to break the house. And it really breaks the heart of the child. We may say, why? But that's required for the child to go to her original house. That's required. The child may feel, oh, my mother, my father, they don't love me. They kicked my house, they destroyed my house, so that you can get a better house. So sometimes Krishna does that based on our own karmas, so that we eventually reach him and be in a situation where we are unlimitedly happy, unending, unlimited happiness. That is intelligence. If you are really intelligent, you will understand that Krishna is the controller and I'm to be controlled. If you accept that voluntarily, you will be the happiest person on this planet. And if you don't, then Krishna will make you happiest. But there will be some pain. You have seen this, what do you call, vaccine? Yeah? People get vaccine dose. So some people like cry or howling. They- you are 30-year-old boy or 30-year-old girl. You cannot just, you just be, you know, sit straight. Don't move. Oh, no, 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 no. I will not, not, not. And the doctor has to put so much efforts. Now the world is waiting for the vaccine to come for kids. Imagine a 6-year-old child, a 10-year-old child. You put them vaccine, they'll run away in the entire house. They'll, maybe the situation will come where doctors and nurses are running with the jab, with these vaccines all over hospital, and these kids are running. No, 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 I don't want vaccine. It's very painful. So when you do like that, and if you don't be a what do you a good boy, you know, like mother will tell or father will tell boy or a girl, their child, be a good boy, be a good girl. If you be a good girl, we will give you a Barbie doll. If not, then you will not get Barbie doll. Oh, then she becomes good girl, at least for some time. If you be a good boy, then we'll get a toy for you. So similarly, Krishna is trying to reform us. We become good boys and good girls, then we will be happy. Sometimes kids, they do not know that they will be happy by following the instructions of parents. Similarly, sometimes we do not know because of our illusion that we will be happy if we follow the instructions of Krishna given in Bhagavad Gita. Why Krishna spoke Bhagavad Gita? For us. The real intelligence means to understand Krishna as the controller. I'm to be controlled and I have to follow the instructions. But that is the this world is thinking, why shall I be controlled? I'll tell you one secret. It's a secret of happy marriage. Happy. You may ask, how come you are a monk? What do you know about marriage? No, but secrets I know. It's given in Vedic. Why so many problems are happening in today's world in the marriage? It's not traditionally, it's not Vedic, it's not traditional, but in general, Krishna has created man's body, women's body. There's a difference. Women, even structure is different. Even I even heard, because the density of bone is also different. In the man's body, the bone is more dense. Even the structure. Then the second layer, mind. So the mind, then Krishna first created the structure, man and women, and then he fitted the mind. So mind is different in man's body, in women's body. Then Krishna installed intelligence, which is different in man's body and different in woman's body. Then Krishna installed ego. Ego is more in man's body and less in women's body. Such a nice benefit women have. They're so fortunate. All the ladies of this world, you're fortunate. You have less ego. You cannot generalize, but you know, let me reach it. And then Krishna sees, oh, there are two souls. And one is to be given man's body for reforming that soul. For the reformation of that soul, I need to give him man's body. Okay, this soul will need a woman's body for reformation. Purpose is to reform the soul. So one is given man's body, one is given women's body. One is given donkey's body, one is given, cat's body or dog's body or lion's body or lioness's body, whatever. So the soul is given the bodies. Now, as you get the body, you have to act. I cannot, I cannot bark. I cannot croak. I cannot, move fast like a snake. I cannot fly like birds because this body is not suitable for that. So, as a soul, I have to understand this body has certain limitations. This body has certain advantages. I have to use this for my own reformation. Now, men, the soul goes in the men body. By nature, their ego is high, and women is supposed to be soft. What is happening? Then Krishna said, okay, men will go out and work, and women will support men, and men will in turn support and give facility to the woman. That's how it is. It's not that in the Vedic culture woman is suppressed. No, there's no suppress. If Prime Minister of our country, Mr. Narendra Modi, if he's to go, suppose, if he's to come to Bombay, do you think he can come like this? He cannot decide. He can decide, I want to go to Bombay. But his security, his protocols, everything has to be followed. He cannot break. Even he wants, he cannot break it. Why? Why security has to be followed? Because is he weak? No. Is he suppressed? Because he is important. He is very important for the country. Any prime minister is important. It's a prestige. It's a prestige issue. He's also important. It's very prestigious. If something happened to the prime minister, the world will laugh at that country. You cannot protect your prime minister. How will you protect your citizens? So similarly, women is given that facility. She is very important in the family, and she needs protection. Not that she is to be suppressed, as some people have done. That's not Vedic culture. She needs protection. She needs to be protected, and she is given protection. And she voluntarily surrenders to the husband, talking sweetly and serving the husband. Now, does that mean that husband is authoritarian or authoritative? Those are not proper husbands. A proper husband will see that my wife is serving me so much. She's completely dedicated to me, and I will always protect her. I will always be loyal, and I will always do whatever it takes to support my wife. So, in reality, when wife serves, husband is not controlling. Rather, husband becomes controlled by wife's service attitude. That's Vedic husband and Vedic wife. A happy, successful marriage life. So the relationship between living entity and Krishna is like that. Krishna is the husband. He is the husband. And we are all Prakriti like the wife. So when we serve Krishna, Krishna becomes so grateful with our service attitude that Krishna says, I'm sold out to my devotees. Aham bhakta paradhina. That is why Krishna says, I'm sold out to my devotees. My devotees can go and sell me in the market. Why? Because of their service attitude. So I'm explaining you with giving example of husband wife. Now, if wife is not having service attitude, if she is not serving the husband, if she's not being kind, being very what do you call? Soft spoken to husband, and she always speaks very harshly. Do you think husband will be impressed? If she retaliates, do you think husband will protect her? No. And that marriage will not sustain. So if I, as a living entity, become rebellious and retaliate against the will of Krishna, do you think Krishna will protect me? Do you think Krishna will give me all the happiness I want? So the intelligence is to serve Krishna to have that attitude of service towards Krishna, and Krishna will be sold out to us. So if you really are control freak and you want to control, serve Krishna, love Krishna. By service and by your love, you can control Krishna. And Krishna is entire existence. No need of controlling anyone else. But the nature is because of our my conditioning. It's not easy to let go this controlling attitude. So how do we, reform ourselves? How do we uh, reform so that we are no more in a controller mode? We are in a controlled mode, and that's possible when we read Bhagavad Gita. We understand what is the reality, what is the truth, and we chant Hare Krishna. We practice spirituality. That is that will enable you, or that will shift your mode, your lifestyle from controller to controlled. And you will, and we, I will, and we all will be controlled by Krishna, and Krishna will be happy, and he will give us all the happiness. Otherwise, if you try to control, you will only face more and more miseries. If anything goes wrong in your life and you try to retaliate, the miserable situation will intensify. It will not go away, it will intensify. So whatever has happened, just accept it. It's very difficult, but practice, practice, practice till you succeed. Try again. If you fail, try again. If you again fail, try again. If you again fail, try again. Be in association of people who are practicing Krishna consciousness, who are chanting, who are reading. They will tell you. And you chant and you read Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. And you will realize you have to accept. Even Maharani Kunti, you see Bhagavatam is filled with examples like Prahlad Maharaj, Yudhishthir Maharaj, Ambarish Maharaj, Prithu Maharaj, everyone, all these are the kings of the planets. But any reversal in their life, they gracefully accepted it. The will of Lord, the will of Almighty, the will of Providence. We have to accept it. Once you accept, you feel so light-hearted. You feel so light. So rather than trying to control the situation, accept the situation. Gain knowledge through these Vedic literatures. And you get, so knowledge will come, but still the lack of internal spiritual strength will not allow you to accept whatever is happening. That will come by chanting. And then you will come out of that controlling mentality. Because controlling mentality, you can never become controlled. None of us can become. We are only in dreams, in hallucination that we are thinking we are controlled. We cannot even control. I told you we cannot control even body. We cannot control our mind. We cannot control anything. Then why to practice that? What will not never happen? And frustrate further. You're frustrating further yourself. Rather, serve Krishna. Be happy. That will bring happiness. That is intelligence. If you are really intelligent, you practice this because that is personally told by Krishna. Hare Krishna. So thank you very much. If there is any question, we can take one or two questions. Time is up.
There are no questions, Prabhuji.
Okay. Hare Krishna. So please practice this chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra and read Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. And if you really want to control, then try to control Krishna with your service attitude. There's a right way to control. With your service attitude, with your service, with your love, and affection control Krishna, Krishna will be controlled, as Krishna is controlled by his devotees.